Alright, well, welcome to this lesson. And in this lesson, we are going to just do an overview of the parts of the sentence. This will give you a understanding of a sentence in general in the English language. Now, the first thing you should know about is that in English, a sentence is considered a complete thought, and a full sentence will always have a subject and something we call the predicate. So in English, every sentence needs these two parts: the subject and the predicate. Let's look at these examples. The dog runs down the street. Here, the subject of our sentence, or who or what the sentence is about, is the dog. And the predicate will be the rest of the sentence here. So we have the subject and then the predicate. The predicate tells us what the subject is doing. So without these two parts, the sentence is not a complete thought. We won't consider it a full sentence. And again, this must be an order, right? You can't say runs down the street, the dog. In English, that is incorrect. In other languages, that may be the structure, but in English the structure goes subject first, followed by the predicate. Now, let's go into detail about these parts. First, the subject. The subject is the naming part. We can call it. The subject of the sentence is who or what the sentence is about. And the subject is going to be something called a noun. In English, a noun is any person or place or thing. So again, our example sentence, the dog runs down the street. This is our subject. The dog is a thing. It's an animal. This is who the sentence or what the sentence is about. The dog is the subject. Then we have the second part, which we called the predicate. The predicate is the telling part. So the predicate of the sentence tells what the subject is doing. And it will normally start with a verb and contain the object, which is also a noun. So now, if we look at our example sentence, we have the predicate colored here, and you can see that the predicate is broken down into a verb and an object, a verb being runs, and the object being street or the street. So again, runs down the street is the predicate of our sentence. This is telling us what the dog is doing. So now you know how to make the basic sentence structure in English. It is just subject plus the verb plus the object in this order. Other languages, we will move this order around. But in English, this is the order you should follow: subject plus verb plus object. And for verb and object, we call the predicate. So now we can build English sentences just knowing about where the subject is and where the predicate is. So we follow this formula: subject plus predicate. Just remember that, and predicate, verb plus object. The dog runs down the street. Subject, verb, object. Here is some examples. Let's see if we can look at these and just kind of identify the different parts. The cat jumps on the bed. This sentence, the cat is the subject, because that is who or what it is about, where it jumps on. The bed is our predicate with jumps being the verb and the bed being the object. The mouse eats cheese. Here, the mouse is the subject. Right. It's who or what this sentence is about with cheese or eats cheese. I'm sorry, being the predicate. Where eats is verb and cheese is the object. Then we have the bird is in the sky. Here the bird is the subject. Is in the sky is our predicate with is being the verb and the sky, the object. So one more time just to look at this. We have subject, predicate, subject, predicate, subject, predicate. Don't forget these words. But now we have an exercise. This is for you to try first by yourself. So I want you to maybe pause the video. Take some time. Look at these sentences and figure out what is the subject and what is the predicate. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video. And then when you unpause, I will continue by giving the answers. Okay, well, hopefully you paused and figured this out on your own. Let's go through this. So the first sentence is, the man ate pizza. Okay, so we have the man. The man is our subject. This is who or what the sentence is about. Then we have ate pizza. Ate pizza is the predicate. This is what the subject did. Next sentence. Adam went to school. Adam is our subject. Went to school is our predicate. And last, we have the bear slept in the cave. With the bear being the subject and slept in the cave be the predicate. Where slept is the verb, the cave is the object. So here we have another exercise for you to try. Go ahead and correct the sentence so that it's in the correct structure, the correct order. So you'll see that we have these words, but they are not in the correct order. Well, I want you to rearrange these words so that we have subject-predicate, correct order. So again, go ahead and pause the video and figure this out on your own. Okay, so hopefully that wasn't too hard. Let's see what we have. The first one we have here, sinking the boat is. So in English, we don't put the information in this order. So hopefully you start. You started with the boat, which is our subject. And then, is sinking. The boat is sinking. This is the correct order subject, predicate. Next, we have a snake and eats mice. A snake is our subject. Eats mice is the predicate. And the last one is hot the Sunday. We have the sun is hot. So, the sun is hot, with the sun being the subject, is hot being the predicate. So now you can see, right? You have learned just in this little lesson about the basic structure of the English sentence. But this is the most important part because once you know the basic structure now, all you have to do is add to this basic structure. You add new types of words you can see here. and your sentences will get bigger and more complex. But the problem is, most learners try to start down here. They try to start learning very complex sentences, and then so when they have to make them on their own, they don't understand or they get confused. But if you start from here, the most basic structure, and you work your way to the most complex structure, you will have no problem ordering your English sentences, making English sentences. And this will help you speak better, listen better, write better, just overall use English better. So you can see here, right? The dog eats food just by adding a few words. The big dog eats food quickly. We are adding more complexity. The big dog eats food quickly under the bed. We are continuing to add. This big dog eats food quickly under that bed. We are adding more information. We are getting more specific. We are speaking better English. This big dog eats food and drinks water quickly under that bed. So now we are very specific. We are adding multiple sentences together, but we are becoming a better English speaker. This is what we will learn in the remainder of this course. And to do this, okay, we are going to learn and understand something called the parts of speech. The parts of speech are the parts that you can use to make up English sentences. So if you learn these things, you'll easily master the English language. And like I said, many students don't learn this. They just skip this part. They just try to start learning a big, complicated sentences. And they struggle for the rest of this course. We will go over each part of this parts of speech in English. Okay, nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, and what I call the other words, prepositions, and finally conjunctions. I promise if you understand all of these, then you'll have no problem learning English.